It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help.
You continue to be disgusting, and the American people continue to be disgusted toward you. That is Sean Diddy Combs, who has now issued a public apology following the release of horrific footage showing him beating his ex-girlfriend in a hotel hallway. He claims that he hit rock bottom and he decided to seek professional help. I've heard the same story over and over again. Usually the person who has been caught doing terrible things will say that they found Jesus or something. But Diddy found professional help allegedly. Now, a rock bottom, he allegedly paid $50,000 in a settlement to conceal, but CNN managed to uncover the video. Want to give you a warning before we watch it. It is difficult to watch and it does show physical violence.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video.
Now, the Ventura referenced in that clip is R&B singer Cassie Ventura, who, as we previously reported, had filed a lawsuit late last year against Combs for alleged rape and sexual trafficking over the course of 10 years, a full decade. Now, in a statement from November, Ventura said this: "With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life." Now, in the lawsuit, she also described some of the emotional and physical abuse that she suffered at the hands of Combs, which matched the footage that was obtained by CNN.
According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can be seen throwing an object in her direction.
Oh, this is in Los Angeles in the hotel hallway. Like, think about how brazen this attack was. And by the way, at the time of the suit, Ben Brafman, who is the attorney representing Combs, said in a statement that Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations and accused Cassie of demanding $30 million from his client under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. Okay, so the case was settled for 50 grand. Since this took place in Los Angeles, unfortunately, it's past the statute of limitations because it took place in 2016. And so the disgraceful district attorney of Los Angeles, George Gascon, who I have absolutely no love for, says, if the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we would be unable to charge as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted. To be sure, he wouldn't prosecute if it was within the statute of limitations. That's the kind of district attorney he is. He's a total disgrace and should be voted out of office. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs. Cenk.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 50,000. Should have gotten a lot more. Okay, but of course the main comment here is, look, the apologies have gotten better, and I watched the whole thing, and there was a part where he said, "Look, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just telling you what I did was terrible, etc." That's a good touch. I've always thought that people should say that, and if you were genuine, you might say that. But here's the clue that he's not genuine. When his lawyer said just a little while earlier, before the tape came out, about how Cassie Ventura was lying about everything and how she's the worst. If you were really, apologetic before you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar there, right? Or in the abuse jar, or in that vase you were throwing, well, then maybe you wouldn't have smeared Cassie Ventura like a second ago.
Sorry, Cenk, I gotta correct myself. He didn't pay $50,000 to Ventura for a settlement. That amount is actually undisclosed. He paid the hotel $50,000 to conceal the surveillance. So I apologize for mixing the two up. Yeah, sorry for mixing those two up.
No, my bad too. So yeah, because I'm like, that is not a $50,000 settlement.
Yeah.
That is like, okay, now why? The underlying thing is the most important of all. Guys, look at that video. Who does that? Like, there is no low I could hit where I would drag a woman around by her hair and kick her while she's down. So look, I don't know who P. Diddy Combs is, and we all think we know these celebrities. We don't know these celebrities at all. Like, we all thought we knew Bill Cosby. Oh, he loves to eat pudding. Oh, he's such a sweet guy. And it turned out he was kind of a monster, right? And so we can give thousands of examples. But so here's another guy, and part of what happens is when they have power, everybody kisses their ass and they're never held accountable for anything. And this is true of the politicians too. And so they think they can get away with anything, and like their very worst side comes out. I hope that's his worst side, but maybe it's not, because the feds are charging him, or thinking of charging him, with sex trafficking and rape, and in many instances, not just this. So
they're investigating him. The federal authorities are investigating him for potential crimes like sex trafficking and things like that. So we don't know too many details from the federal investigation. We do know that his properties were raided and he's in a lot of trouble. So while I'm grossed out by the fact that there will be no justice on a local level because of the statute of limitations, there could be some serious consequences on a federal level due to this federal sex trafficking investigation. But I just, you say you don't know who these people are. And you're right, when you only see them in glossy magazines and when they're being celebrated all the time, you think you know them, you don't know them. You don't know what kind of people they are behind closed doors. In terms of Sean Diddy Combs, based on the video that we watched where he's brazenly beating a woman up in a public area, in the hallways of this hotel in Los Angeles, I feel comfortable saying that I know exactly what kind of person he is, and I feel that he is a scumbag. And so I'm not interested in his apology. I don't care how good the apology was. And if he's not apologizing with the hopes of people accepting his apology, maybe he can F off and not address the public about any of this, because I think the video speaks for itself.
I think he's in a world of trouble, and I think he should be.